Pisces, what's going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it, Pisces. We are just wrapping up Cancer season, about to move into Leo season. We have a new moon in Leo on the horizon and just had a couple planets go into retrograde. Both Saturn and Mercury went into retrograde this week. We already have Neptune and Pluto in retrograde, so a lot of fun stuff now happening in the astrology. Retrogrades are bittersweet, right? They actually they give us an opportunity to slow down, kind of move a little bit more intentionally through whatever we're dealing with. But they do also bring up stuff that needs to be addressed, stuff that is kind of hidden underneath the surface, stuff that we're not necessarily seeing in plain sight. And a lot of what we're dealing with in the astrology is challenging us on a deeper level, a soul level. The planets that are in retrograde, aside from Mercury, really challenge who we are on a deeper level, right? It's more of our spiritual, our evolutionary body, the way that we grow and evolve in this lifetime. And it's been a lot for you. I feel like you've kind of been through a lot of ups and downs, and I feel like you've had a lot of things lately that have really kind of challenged your level of confidence and courage. Not that you're being put down. I don't hear that, because I feel like you've overcome a lot lately, Pisces. And be proud of yourself to that point. Really give yourself the grace to reflect on where you've come, validate the hardship, the challenges, and also validate how you've been strong and empowered to be able to kind of choose better things for yourself. It's not been easy, and we will continue to be challenged. The outer planets are going to be in retrograde pretty much through the rest of the year. October, November, December-ish is when they all lift. So it's going to really reinforce those spaces where we need to trust ourselves, trust our instincts, choose a little bit differently than what we're used to, just like you've been doing. None of that's easy, right? Unfortunately, we're in trying times. There are some good things that are happening in November, so we just got to push through the next couple months. But that's also why I like to start my readings off with an energy cleansing, just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. Also cleanse out what is blocking or limiting us. It's a really good time to set your own intention for the reading as well, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something that you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over, be open to receive. It's a really great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are just interested in a realignment of self, mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we are feeling strong, grounded, aligned within self, meaning when we know ourselves and what we want and we're not disconnected, that's really where we manifest our happiness, our fulfillment, our abundance. And I would love to help support in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, Pisces, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light. Pure source energy, pure love and grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being, so that we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Ooh. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, Pisces. So, excuse me. I feel like you are spending a lot of time being conscious, being intentional around what is going on in your life. I'm seeing you look at people, at situations, and really evaluate, is it in alignment with my abundance? I'm seeing you kind of like chipping away at things that are not, things that have actually made it more difficult. Putting out the fires is what I'm hearing with certain people, certain situations, but also even some of the ones that feel a little bit short-lived or like they're not going to be around for a long time. You definitely have this energy, of like empowerment of self. I love this energy for you, Pisces, because that is really talking about you stepping into your power, you leveling up in a way that you've wanted to. And it's also with this understanding, this recognition that you can't take everything with you. I don't think this has been easy, and I feel like there is this level of you questioning yourself, like, did I make the right moves? Or am I making the right moves? Am I seeing this clearly? Partnership, relationship is definitely on your mind with Venus and Libra in your overarching energy, because I feel like the way you've gone about this in the past is, I don't know, for some reason you're afraid of what you desire. Maybe you've taken more of a practical approach. Again, that value of like what looks good on paper, but like when you get into it, not so much. No shade to whatever or whomever you're dealing with. But honestly, as I'm saying this, like I'm reminded that that's a theme in the collective, in the astrology. Yeah, 100%, because you have what's been blocked for you. The child of the universe is also this value of like connecting with our, however you want to say it. It's like our spiritual self, our life purpose, our dharma, the things that actually like fulfill our heart, even if it doesn't look like that on paper, right? And that can be really tricky to do because life, I don't know, people want us to be very practical, very analytical. It has to make sense, etc. You're also a water sign, so you easily pick up people, situations, intentions, and it might not, with that being said, it might not look rational on the surface. It might just be because you're going with your gut instincts. Honestly though, like our gut is way more intuitive than we give it credit for. That's why health and wellness, feeding your body, nurturing foods, supporting your energy in that way is so important, because it does really kind of help us listen to what our gut instincts, our intuition is saying. And you're doing that this week. I feel like here's the thing. It looks like whatever you've kind of invested in the past hasn't really delivered. You thought it was going to deliver in this way, like this is my answer, this is my key. And it looks like as you're evaluating these things and these people, it is actually pushing you towards this Scorpio energy. Scorpio energy is all about connecting with our desires. It's about not being afraid to make changes. And right now, Black Moon Lilith is in Scorpio, and she's a little wild, right? She is kind of the energy that is going to do something completely off the beaten path or against the grain, so to speak, regardless of what people think or say. I like her wildness. It definitely is going to serve you, is basically what I'm getting at. Sometimes we can miscalculate. We have to be mindful. A lot of the tension that's been surrounding Black Moon Lilith, it's basically making sure that we're not giving someone or something a hall pass, right? Because she can have a tricky energy. So when people use that to their advantage, when they're trying to get what they want, etc., that's what we have to be mindful of. But that is also what you're looking at. That's the lens that you're looking at people's situations through. Lots of communication this week. Lots of conversations with people. Again, this feels a little bit like getting to the bottom of some stuff. Like Aquarius had a similar energy where I feel like there are certain things that it's almost like you're just not getting the hint, is what I'm hearing. And I'm not saying that to throw disrespect, but it's kind of just like when someone's doing something over and over and over again, and we're not seeing it, right? Like almost that you're too close to someone or something, that like the energy that they're projecting towards you, it's not a bad energy specifically. There is this level of like happiness and let's be friends, but this, whatever the connection is, it feels deeper than that. it feels like whatever they are giving to you is pretty shallow or very surface. And you're trying to kind of be as diplomatic as you can about it. This goes back to those gut instincts, relying on your instincts, on your intuition, because it kind of looks like someone's holding back. It looks like someone is not going to deliver, and you know this. It looks like it's important for you this week to have a very diplomatic energy around this. I feel like you're going to be making some changes and adjustments. Perhaps you're going to need the court system, especially if you're in legal contracts or whatever. This is a hard decision to come to, though. Like, this is something that you've really taken your time around, and you're continuing to do so. And that's almost why it's hard to see some of how this person's situation is showing up for you. It's not specifically love, right? This is more about like friendship and kind of keeping things at this surface value. While meanwhile, like, I don't know, let's see why they feel like they need to self-protect. Someone who wants to keep their options open is what I'm hearing, right? So if something did ever happen, this is kind of this energy, like if something did ever happen, if something went south, they would be out, like, especially if they had someone or something else to run to, right? Another job, another relationship, etc. That's how this feels. And they're self-protecting because they don't really know what they want, or maybe they don't even understand themselves or their own feelings. Or they're not admitting it to themselves, I feel like, because they want you to see, again, the surface, like, hey, well, if I'm saying this to you, then you should just take me at face value or just believe what I'm saying or whatever. But there's a lot here that, yeah, it's all pointing towards, again, like if they had the opportunity or if things were to look different, they would definitely be out of the picture. Maybe they don't want to take that initiative. That's what it looks like. They don't want to take that initiative because there is a lot of fear. There's a level of comfortability that you bring to the dynamic, especially because at this point you are very committed. Or maybe you're also committed in a surface way. Maybe you're also leaving the door open for other options. I don't see this as you looking at other options as much as finding out information, like really trying to understand on a deeper level, like what this person's situation's intentions are. But you're not being hard on them, right? Like you're just kind of taking things with a grain of salt. I also feel like this goes back to why it has been hard to quote unquote level up, because you're not convinced, and you're not trusting your gut. And I think right now we're struggling just as a collective because some of the stuff that's popping up is really forcing us to make some tough decisions. Pluto energy is not easy. It is about death and rebirth. It is about change, growth, evolution. It is that value of the phoenix, being able to burn away the old and rise again, rise from the ash, shake, release, heal, move on. Okay? No expectations and victory. I feel like that says it all right there. It's all about you, like, there's something that's keeping you attached. And again, I feel like it's just because you're second guessing yourself, or it's hard to trust yourself right now. Saturn and Neptune in Aries in retrograde is actually helping us do that. And it's around the things that are a little bit harder to admit to ourselves, right? That's why intuition is so important right now, because we have to trust what our mind, body, soul is saying to us. And I feel like you are, or you have in a lot of other ways that's helping prepare you to trust yourself around this situation. You're holding on a little bit. That's fair, because there are expectations that if you quote unquote get it right, it's going to work out. This is a relationship dynamic that you have invested in. Interestingly enough, Libra rules, justice rules Libra energy. It is about partnerships. It's also about being diplomatic though, and really understanding, like, is this what you desire? Is it fulfilling those key components? And when we have no expectations of other people, other situations, it makes it way easier to see through, right? It might be hard. It might hurt a little bit, but there's victory at the end of this, right? Like it's, and this breaks down to this, in numerology, it's 40. So it breaks down to 4, which is all about your stability. It's about support. It's about guidance, protection from the higher realms, spiritual realms, whatever you ascribe to. And it really helps us make hard decisions, but that ultimately are leading towards our betterment, towards our success. A better foundation is what I should say. So it's a little tough to get through, but I feel like you're on the right path this week, Pisces. You're really sensing into things, and it's helping you evolve. It's helping you grow. It's helping you trust yourself on a deeper level. So thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonated here for you. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I would love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support you bring to the channel. No, I'm sending it back your way.